my favorite topic every single show, my Malkin's moments. I have some great Malkin's moments for you on this Monday morning. So I want to start with the PGA Tour. Joohyung Kim, he wins the Wyndham Championship, but this is why this is special. So he finished 20 shots under par and became the first player born in the 2000s to win on the PGA Tour. He's 20 years old. He was born on June 1st, 2002. So he literally just turned 20 a couple months ago. And the South Korean collected his first PGA Tour win. But with this win in particular, he's already advanced to the FedEx playoffs, which, of course, is one of the biggest tournaments that every PGA golfer hopes to participate in. And listen, I know that there are a lot of major golfers no longer on the PGA Tour because they've defected to the Live Golf Tour. But I don't, and so you can say that maybe the competition isn't quite as stiff as it has been in the past, or that it normally would be in a tournament like this. But I don't really care. It's still impressive, and I want to give this kid his flowers. And earlier in the day, mind you, he actually tied for the second lowest front nine hole score in PGA Tour history at Wyndham Championship. So when you're in the realm and in the status of, hey, you've broken an historical mark or you've tied for an historical mark, I don't really care who you're playing against because you're breaking, you're setting new marks, you're breaking history. So that's impressive in and of itself. Speaking of setting records and breaking history, Jacob DeGrom of the New York Mets sets an MLB strikeouts record. He has collected the most strikeouts through 200 starts in MLB history. He seems to be the sleeping giant that everyone forgets about in the MLB and in baseball because the Mets for the longest time have just been garbage. But now that they're really good, people are remembering Jacob DeGrom's actually a beast and has been in the conversation with Clayton Kershaw as a top 2, top 3 pitcher of this decade. That's the type of guy we're talking about here. Jacob DeGrom has been incredible. He just collected his 1,518th strikeout yesterday in the Mets' 5-2 victory over the Atlanta Braves. He struck out Colby Swanson. Again, it was just his second start of the year because he was dealing with a stress fracture in his right shoulder at the start of the MLB season, literally on April 7th. So right before the season was about to commence, he suffers this injury, just worked his way back into the starting lineup. And this is a Mets team that has not only been able to stabilize the ship without Jacob DeGrom, they're sailing pretty smoothly right now. They're 70-39. They've got the second best record in the National League, just behind the Dodgers. If they were in the American League, they'd be tied with the Yankees for the best overall record. So they're tied for the second best record in baseball right now. And the Mets are a legitimate contender. And when he is rolling, and now that he's back and he's healthy, this is a legitimate contender to win the World Series. And yes, even for my Dodgers, they are a competitor. They are a legitimate threat because Max Scherzer is pitching extremely well. And now you add Jacob DeGrom, 2 legitimate aces. That could potentially be 2 wins on the mound for the Mets in the postseason. That's extremely, extremely important. So major shout out to him. His biggest Achilles heel has been health. Last 3 years, he's been battling health and injuries. So hopefully he can stay healthy because when he's right, he's got vicious command and vicious stuff. And finally, my final Malkin's moment, I want to give a shout out to Candace Parker of the Chicago Sky. She became just the 5th WNBA player to record at least 600 blocks in her career. And yes, this is for a Chicago Sky team who is the reigning WNBA champion. They've got the best record in the WNBA again this year. They're 25-8. She had 18 points and 2 blocks in the Sky's win over the Connecticut Sun last night. But again, Candace Parker is arguably one of the top 10 greatest WNBA players of all time. I think you can make an argument for her. So the fact that she's able to accomplish all these records and these highlights in her hometown of Chicago too, that's what made her returning back to the Chicago Sky such a heartwarming story, is the fact that she's from Chicago and she continues to just charter new paths and continue to lead. That's the biggest characteristic that I think we can say about her. She's been a winner everywhere she's been, and she's just a great leader. She wins every single place she plays. So congratulations and shout out to her. That's all the time that I got for today. Thank you so much for joining me right here on Morning Joe every single Monday and Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 to 11 Central, and 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, Morning Joe, J-O with Jonah Malkin on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Jonah_Malkin or at morning_Joe_ JMalkin97 on Instagram, and Jonah Malkin on TikTok. Thanks so much. And as always, have a lovely rest of your morning.